Welcome to part 3 of our Dealing with Stress series. And today we're going to be talking about healthy coping. So, coping skills are the ways that we deal with stress. And last time we talked about some of the unhealthy ways that we can deal with stress. And today we're going to be talking about the opposite, the healthy ways. And coping skills are healthy when they cause long term positive consequences. So, they cause positive things to happen for us in the long run. And healthy coping skills really lead to positive self esteem and positive mental health. They really can make us feel good about ourselves. That's how you know a coping skill is healthy. So, when should you be using coping skills? You want to use them both proactive and reactive. So, proactive means that you do something to keep you from feeling stress. So, you do something every day that keeps you in that good headspace, that keeps, that joy, the happiness, those kind of emotions with you. It keeps you from getting burnt out. It keeps you from that stress piling down on you. And then you want to use them in a reactive way as well. So, something that you do because you feel stressed. So, a situation comes up, you feel stressed because of it, so you use your coping skills. And healthy coping really takes practice. We aren't born knowing how to cope and deal with stress, especially in healthy ways. And most of the time, we learn how to cope from the adults in our lives, from our parents mostly. And if they deal with stress in unhealthy ways, we're going to learn to do that as well. So it's so important to practice using those healthy coping skills. And sometimes they're not going to work right away. Sometimes you'll try something and it doesn't relieve your stress. And maybe it makes you more stressed because you're not really sure how to do it. But when you practice it over time and you build it up and you kind of become excited about knowing how to do it and knowing how to deal with your stress, you end up feeling better in the long run, in the long term. So, the first positive coping skill that we're going to talk about is called self love. And this is really popular right now all over social media. It's also kind of known as self care. And it really is just doing something nice for yourself. And this is really good for your mind. It helps you to relax, recharge your energy. And it helps your body as well. It's taking care of your body, maybe getting sleep, slowing down. And then it's also good for your soul. So it brings you some kind of joy. It brings you happiness. And self-care, self-love, it's not selfish. It's all about making time for you. Because if you don't make time for yourself, then no one else will. And this doesn't mean that you have to set aside 2, 3 hours every day for some self-love or self-care. It could be just setting aside 10 minutes every day to do something nice for yourself. A lot of the times people think that this has to be expensive too. And it doesn't have to be, getting a massage or buying yourself nice things or going to get a haircut. It can be small things that you do every day. So, some examples of self love could be taking a hot bath or a long shower at the end of the day. It could be cleaning your room, making your bed, getting a good night's sleep. Teens need anywhere from 9 to 9.5 hours, and a lot of the times they do not get that. So, getting that good night's sleep, it's a great way to rest your mind, to recharge your body, to show yourself some love. And then it can be doing, some self-care around a face mask or painting your nails or doing your hair, giving yourself a massage. It could also be nourishing your body. So drinking water throughout the day or cooking yourself a nice meal, maybe making healthy choices around what you eat. Instead of eating a burger, you decide to eat some vegetables. And then a big part of it too is working out, really treating your body right, giving it that outlet that it needs, taking care of it. It takes care of both your mental and your physical health when you're able to work out. And then also a big part of self-love and self-care is being able to say no. Sometimes we can be so overwhelmed with wanting to do things for others or all of our responsibilities. And it's okay to say no sometimes and say, no, I need that time for myself. That is not selfish. That's taking care of yourself so you don't get burnt out. Because when you're burnt out, you can't help others or yourself. So the next type of healthy coping skill that we're going to go over is called distraction. And this is really another really popular one because it's just so easy to do. And this is when you focus on something else. So you take your mind off of whatever situation is stressing you out. You give your mind and your emotions a quick break. You put that stressful situation on pause so then you can come back to it in a much better place, in a more relaxed and less stressful or angry or overwhelmed way. Some examples of this are getting exercise, going for a walk, going to the gym, going to do yoga, weightlifting, playing sports, going around and playing basketball or kicking a soccer ball around, whatever you enjoy. It can be reading or sitting down and watching a movie or a TV show, playing some video games. Or you can get more creative and you can draw or paint. You could journal or write, listen to music. Maybe you could cook or, take some photographs, practice photography. Maybe going outside is what makes you feel better. Maybe you can garden a little bit. And then a big one is just, spending time with your friends, distracting yourself by hanging out with friends and having a good time. And I know last time we talked about an unhealthy coping skill that was avoiding situations. And distraction can easily turn into avoiding if you don't come back to the stressful situation. So distraction is all about pausing what's ever going on, doing something to take your mind off the situation, to make you feel a little bit better, to slow down those overwhelming emotions, to kind of get yourself back to neutral, and then going back to whatever the situation is. And this could be for studying or during the school day. A lot of the times it can be really overwhelming to just sit in class all day or sit on the computer all day. So when you take a quick break, when you do something fun for yourself, maybe go on a walk or play a video game, you're recharging yourself in a way. And then you're going back to whatever your responsibilities are, whatever you need to deal with. So now we're going to do an activity, and I want you to try to name a coping skill for each letter of the alphabet, A through Z. And then for the harder letters like X or Z, you could try to find a word that has that letter in it, because I know it's really hard to think of a coping skill that starts with the letter X. But if you do, extra points. So once you make that list, I want you to think, are there any on that list that you want to try? So on your list, it doesn't have to be just coping skills that you use. It could be things that you've seen other people do, maybe a parent or a friend, or something that you've seen on TV, a way you've seen someone else cope. So think about that list. And is there anything on there that you want to try? Do you want to try to journal? Do you want to try to practice yoga? So try to make that list. And once you come up with it, think about things you want to try, but also think about all the things that you are able to do on that list, things that you already do. Sometimes when we're feeling stressed out and we need to cope, or we're feeling strong emotions like anger or sadness, or we're overwhelmed, it can be really hard for us to stop and think, oh, I know exactly what I can do to feel better. I know what skill I can use. So it really helps to have some visual of that. So take a few off that list, a few that work really well for you, and then just jot them down in the notes section on your phone. So the next time that you're feeling really overwhelmed or really angry or really sad, go to that list and look at all the things that you can do that you have done that work to make you feel better. Thanks so much for listening to part 3 of our Dealing with Stress series. And next week, we're going to talk about some more healthy coping skills that you can use really in any moment.